What up, friendos? We've got the day before, the official gameplay overview and release date trailer. Made a video a couple of days talking about this, that it was coming out. I think I'm a little bit late because it did come out a few hours ago. I opened it last night as it got posted, but I was too tired to record a video, so we're doing it today instead. Just woke up, probably going to be a little bit raw. But here we go. I'm expecting a delay, of course, like I said in the other video, because there would be no point having a release date trailer, as in a trailer to announce the release date of your game, when everybody already knew you delayed the game repeatedly and it was supposed to be November 10th. I've already noticed something, so if it doesn't come out on November 10th, they've already fucked up in this trailer because there's a ad for the apocalypse, November 10th. Nah, mate. Nah, not releasing, is it? Wait, what did that say? Trailer starts. Trailer starts. Thanks for letting us know, mate. Would never have guessed I was watching a trailer if you didn't let me know.
The Day Before offers a uniquely reimagined journey into post-apocalyptic MMO open-world survival. Artfully developed by Fantastic and brought to you by the publisher Mytona. The open world of The Day Before is beautiful and richly detailed, set in the present day on the U.S. East Coast, following a deadly pandemic.
New Fortune City.
The game begins after you are rescued by the survivors of the Woodbury colony, your new refuge and safe home.
From now on, the doors of Woodbury will always be open to you.
But first, you will create your unique character. Select a
Okay, so far so good.
Choose a gender and customize every detail. Immerse.
Choose a gender in 2020. Triggered. I'm about to start baby raging.
Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity!
In yourself in our vision of post-apocalyptic America. Woodbury survivors are working to rebuild the community, constantly needing supplies, building materials, and various items. Your main task is to bring as much.
If you erased from my brain that I knew I was watching the Day Before trailer, I'd just say, oh, it's Division 3 then, is it? You're just showing me Division 3. You can hear the Dwarf Fortress music in the background, by the way, that I'm currently playing, so I just mute that real quick. Nobody noticed.
Much valuable loot as possible. And in return, you'll be rewarded with the local currency known as Woodbury coins.
Who the hell needs your junk?
Keep track of your health, hunger, and thirst indicators. And remember, dangers are everywhere here, ranging from the vicious infected to other players who are ready to take everything from you.
I don't know why the gameplay just looks so fake to me. I'm just saying, it might not be. The game might just come out and look like this and play like this and be great, and that'd be awesome. I'm super excited if that's the case. But just remember, I opened a couple of these trailers just so I could show you the difference between what they've repeatedly shown us. So the initial announcement trailer, this one, where it basically looked like it does now, maybe a little bit higher quality, which obviously with vertical slices and trailers you will typically get that. Mainstream AAA games do it all the time, so can I really bag on a company for doing exactly what we've been sold by all these other companies for years and years? Maybe not. But then obviously they released this 8 months ago, and it looks fuck all alike, does it? It's stylized, not stylized. It's weird. And then they're showing us the game now, and it looks like this. I don't know. I don't know what to think.
We've designed survival in this world to be a thrilling experience.
Hopefully.
The weapons, which can be modified, are made with maximum realism to ensure that combat remains deep and engaging at all times. Each weapon boasts unique characteristics, as well as realistic reload and recoil mechanics.
So if true, you guys remember the shooting gameplay they showed us during one of the initial trailers? It wasn't this one. There's been so many trailers for this fucking game. The shooting in one of the trailers before looked so bad. So bad. The shooting actually looks better now. If we're going based on obviously labouring under the assumption this trailer is true and real, which it may or may not be.
Completing various community tasks also presents an opportunity to earn Woodbury coins.
Well, who do I see here? How's it going, my friends?
Woodbury coins can be exchanged for ammo, from regular to armor-piercing, weapons, protective equipment, backpacks, food, drinks, and medicines. Spa access to relax, and
I don't know why this is a thing that they keep showing us. I really don't know.
gym to work out.
The spa.
Safeguard your accumulated items by storing them in secure storage.
Cool.
Exchange Woodbury coins for cars to swiftly collect loot and access distant, hard-to-reach locations.
It's never not going to look goofy to me that people driving like Lamborghinis and stuff around during a zombie apocalypse. It's just, I don't know. There needs to be at least a little bit of a suspension of disbelief when you're playing a game.
You will receive your own ranch, where you can purchase and upgrade houses, as well as install furniture and decorations.
Cool.
The ranch serves as your cozy, safe oasis amidst the post-apocalyptic.
Is this Ram Ranch? Is that where we're going?
chaos.
My
Welcome
favorite.
to the next generation of post-apocalyptic MMO open-world survival games like never before.
Cool.
Immerse yourself in the day before.
Cool. It sounds like this was written by AI, by the way, but it is what it is.
The day before.
Called it. Called it. Always right, never wrong. The day before early access begins December 7th, 2023 on Steam. So you would have to go back in a whole bunch of time to find out whether this is true or not, but I don't remember them ever mentioning the game would be launching in early access. I thought the game was just a fully released game. I don't remember them ever saying, oh, it's going to be an early access game. Because bear in mind, this game was supposed to release in like 2021 or something like that, early 2020. I can't remember the exact timeline, but it was supposed to launch years ago. And obviously, completely right again. They said the game was going to be launching on November 10th. They said there would be a beta. There is no beta. They're just going to charge you for access to the game and then you're going to beta test it. Of course, everybody does that now, so can't super complain, but obviously lied about the beta unless they didn't announce it during this big announcement they did, and there's going to be one within the next couple of weeks. Also said it was launching November 10th repeatedly, so this is yet another delay, and they've not even addressed the fact that this is a delay. They've just came out and said, oh yeah, launching on December 7th this time. Trust us, bro. Definitely happening this time. Just like every other time was definitely happening. But this time it's going to be early access. The day before early access begins December 7th, 2023 on Steam. Follow updates on the social media because you can't follow it on Steam because they still don't have a Steam page. So let's finish this and then we'll dive into the comments.
December 7.
No man, there's nothing to finish. This survival is going to be the best racing game of all times. This is going to be hilarious if this game not only exists but turns into an absolute hit. Yeah, it'll be super funny. I'll be playing the game, having a good time. I don't know why I'll be laughing. Obviously, the thing is, people do this all the time. It's this concept of like, people have seen on social media, that aged well, that aged like milk. That's not how things work. If something's true one day and all the evidence that you have suggests that something's one way, and then it ends up not being that way multiple years later, it's not that your assessment of the thing at the time didn't age well. It's that the linear passage of time means that things are going to change, and something that is true now may not have been true when those statements were made multiple years ago. And the idea that people do this with games, where obviously they're in constant development, they have no reason to believe something. In fact, they have all the reasons to believe something's going to be bad and things are going wrong, but they just choose to delusionally believe it's okay, and then they feel vindicated, 3 years later when it comes out and it's good. And it's like, no, you didn't have the correct take on what happened at that time. Your take is the one that aged poorly because you just always believed when there was no reason to. I don't know why people do that. It's really confusing. Because if this game came out and it was amazing, people would show up and be like, oh, you said it was going to be a bad game. Yeah, everybody did. For the very clear reasons that they've done nothing but show nonsense, pre-scripted, rendered gameplay trailers. Gameplay, most of the time we have to put in air quotes. It delayed the game literally 4 or 5 times at this stage. Bait and switched people, like, oh, tune in for this great new announcement, and everyone's thinking it's going to be about the day before the game they care about, and then they just drop a game that nobody cares about that they were developing tertiary. They've literally released multiple other games and abandoned them weeks or months into the cycle of being released, most of the time on early access as well. They've also bait and switched with an app that they didn't say they made or that they were sponsored by, and just sort of like dropped it in some weird product placement in one of their videos. People were hyped up thinking it was going to be the day before news, and it was literally created to advertise, like subliminally advertise an app that they'd made, which nobody fucking uses. Obviously, there was leaks from people who worked there to a Russian publication where they were talking about the brothers who were in charge of the studio were just absolute fucking maniacs, and the development of the game has been an utter unmitigated disaster, and it basically doesn't work. That was, of course, years ago at this point, like a year and a half or something ago, so things could have changed. And then obviously there's just nobody's played the game, so how would you ever think this was going to do well? Because realistically, I've been around the zombie survival genre since the inception and all of the early versions of the game. Like, I used to play DayZ mod and things like that on Arma 2 years and years ago. One of my favorite games ever. Much preferred it to the standalone version. And people might remember, of course, there was a boom of zombie survival games following DayZ mod success because everybody wanted to get in on it. And that boom was just full of for some reason, this genre, out of all the genres that have had like a boom after one popular game, like battle royales and stuff, the zombie survival genre is the one that is just inundated with utter fucking asset flip, buggy, laggy, just garbage. I don't know why that's the case. So whenever I see in my brain a zombie survival game, I think it's going to be more of the same, right? It's going to be a mess like most of the other ones that show up on Steam Early Access. Especially when it's by a studio that has all this bad history and things like that. Especially when it's showing, like, you know, amazing graphics and saying it's going to do all these things that no other game in the genre does. It's anytime anyone tells me something's going to be the revolution of the genre, it's going to be the next generation, and you're a company with no track record or a negative track record, I just think, you know, make a good game first. How about that one? And then make a revolutionary game. But I don't know, man. That's a lot of rambling for really nothing. But hopefully it is good, I will say, because I'd love to play a game like this. Like I said, I've been chasing a game like this for years and years, and then they always turn out to be bad. It makes you laugh. People are calling it the yesterday. I prefer the delay before, because it can go into everything. The delay before release, if that ever comes, like, because it's a perpetual state of the delay before, so it may never release. But we'll see. Early access coming up, allegedly December 7th. I won't fucking hold my breath because I'd end up suffocating multiple years ago waiting for the release of this one. But all we can do now is wait and see whether it's good. Unless there's anything crazy happen with the day before, I won't be releasing another video until the game releases and we get to play. Hopefully we get a beta in the interim because I'd prefer... I've said this a million times, don't buy this game unless you're like rich and you just don't care about pissing your money up the wall. Wait for people who have money and make money from videos, such as myself, be able to reimburse themselves with the ad dollars of laughing about the game if it's really bad. Wait for those people to buy the game and show it to you. You're going to lose nothing by waiting 24 hours once the game launches into early access, by waiting for those types of reviews, because obviously some people buy and then they spend too much time in it, and then they realize the game's utter garbage and wasted their money and they're upset about it. You definitely shouldn't be pre-ordering or buying anything that has had this much of a poor history, but I'm sure some people will, and they'll say that I'm going to be wrong, so good luck with that one, I guess. And fingers crossed it is an actual decent game. So yeah, as always, buy gamer subs. I have a cup full of lovely water that I'm about to dump some. I don't know, I might go with the sour apple today. So it's a powder, you put it in, caffeine free if you're that way inclined, caffeine if you do like that sort of thing. They also sell tea now, a bunch of different tea flavors. and they're releasing new flavors and shaker cups and stuff every week, it seems like. You can get normal shaker cups if you're not the kind that wants one with a big titty waifu on it. Obviously, you're a weirdo if you don't want one of the big titty waifu ones, but there you go. Link in video description. You can get a 10% discount if you use my code. And yeah, they do samples and things like that. You just have to pay for shipping if you're unsure, and anything you spend on that basically gives me a kickback. So win-win. It doesn't cost you more, it costs you less, and gives me money. So there we go. Links in video description for everything. Suggest content on my Discord, Twitter DMs, things like that. Patreon as well. And see you next time. Peace.